All right, yo guys, welcome back to another bracket prediction. This is going to be our second last bracket prediction of the whole entire Call of Duty League season, and actually probably for the rest of the year because the new season, I mean, like the first tourney is probably not going to be until 2026. So, actually, there's also the EWC bracket as well. So, third last bracket, but the last one of the regular season before we head into the postseason. You know how these brackets go. I mean, I stopped like whenever I'm doing match to match, I do input a lot of the statistical like analysis type of things, but you never know what's gonna happen with these brackets. I like to throw in some upsets. My last bracket was something to behold. That's for sure. That's for sure. But we're gonna walk through this. We're gonna walk through this together, and we're going to go match by match and see who comes out on top. No bias at all, and we're gonna try not to go 2 hours. We're gonna try not to go 2 hours. I swear I'm not going 2 hours today. I swear. Gonna be a lot more concise today. A lot more concise. If I could actually get this to half an hour, which is probably not gonna happen, but hopefully an hour or less, or just under an hour. So the first game of the day, I mean, I was going to go with Rocker. I I just had a feeling there was gonna be an upset. There's gonna be an upset somewhere here. There always is, but I just feel like I can't put any hope into this Rocker team. And when I look at just the map set and the maps that they'll have to play against Miami, Miami's good in all three game modes. They're not good at control, but they're good enough that they can beat Rocker. The last time they played, I have it pulled up here. They played Vault Control, which Rocker won 3-0, but then Miami won 6-3 Rewind. Granted, Rocker's Rewind S&D has gone better, but they'll probably play it again. But Miami's a great matchup for them on that map. That map's all going to come down to what Kenny does on Burger Street, to be honest, on S&D. And last time they played Protocol Hardpoint, which was a 250 to 151 to Miami. But with Protocol out, we'll probably be seeing a Rewind. And I don't think that Rocker would beat Miami at that map. I just think Miami's got too much. And Real's really good at Rewind, dude. From what I recall, he's really good at that map. And let me see if I can pull up. I'm going to try to pull up Rocker's Rewind record. Granted, I mean, it's been a long time since they played it. And I just want to see the last time they played it here. Did they play it against Ultra? Or did they play it against LAG? They may actually no. They played against Ultra, but they didn't play it because it was map number 4. And then against LAG, did they play it? Yes, they did, and they won 250 to 173 against LAG. That is LAG. LAG did beat Optic, but Optic had a 100-point lead and trolled it on like a P4, P3, which doesn't really say much about LAG except like great comeback from them. But they played it once this split and they won it. And then did they play against Vancouver? No, they didn't. Anyways, I just think Miami's going to beat them on the map. I think Miami's just I know Miami went 5-0, but I mean, we're going to talk about them when it comes to like the deeper rounds, but I have no hope for an upset, and I think this is the end of Rocker's champs, to be honest. I'm not even going to overanalyze this or try to say there's going to be an upset. I do not think there's going to be an upset at all. So I'm just going to put Miami up into winners round 2, which is great for Miami. Great for Miami. Sort of. sort of. We will get to that later. LA Thieves Surge. Oh, wait. We also got to move Rocker, too. The loser of Miami, Minnesota. So we're going to move Rocker to facing Boston Breach. Boston Breach and the losers, which is crazy. But I'll just put Rocker right there. And then this LAT Vancouver Surge. Okay, hear me out here. I know LAT has been their boogeyman the whole season long, and they've been beating them and beating them and beating them. There's been a lot of 3-2s, a lot of close games, a lot of last maps, but there has been a lot of 3-0s. So they basically got the best of both worlds of every type of loss you could get against LAT. But if we're solely basing this off a best of 5, I've always said that a best of 5 is Vancouver's best chance against LAT. So I pulled up the last best of 5 that they played against LAT, where it went to last map and LA Thieves won on rewind 6-4. So it was a really close game. And they played Hacienda Hardpoint, Dealership, S&D, Control on Vault, Hardpoint Protocol, and Rewind S&D. So if we look at the map vetoes, if they do ring the same as they did last time, unless LA Thieves magically got better at Vault, which they're good at the beginning of the season, and all of a sudden they can't play it anymore, which is kind of weird. It would ban Vault again because it's Vancouver's best map, and Vancouver would ban Red Card because it's LA Thieves' best map, or maybe they might play them on it, actually. I don't see that happening, but maybe it's been like a case where it's been way too long of a time, because we've seen that happen like with Atlanta Faze on Rio Hardpoint. They were like the best team, door dashing everybody on that Hardpoint map. Nobody stood a chance, and then they froze them for playing that map in an actual match for months, and then they started playing again and they lost it like 4 times in a row. So this could be the same thing when it comes to like Red Card, because LA Thieves haven't played in a long time. Granted, they still played in scrims, but playing in matches is way different than scrims. So maybe it's one of those things where you froze it for so long, you surprisingly put it in there, and then like you come up with something different. I still don't think they're gonna do that, because that's a map where it's all ARs, and the ARs of Scrap and Ghosty I think might just reign supreme on them. And then you have Hydra on routes, Envoy and the Hilf, and I feel like that map would still go bad for them, so they might just ban that map again. So if that's the case, then it leaves Skyline, Hasi, and Rewind. And last time LA Thieves picked Hacienda, and they lost 250 to 219 to Vancouver. So they might pick that map again, or they may pick Skyline again. Or they may pick Skyline, not Skyline again. But Vancouver have gone better at Skyline, but do they want to face them? Because LA Thieves, I think they kind of had a feeling where on LAN, especially earlier on, that the last major, it was like Major 2. It was like Major 2, where they got upset by Boston on that map. It didn't look like the same LA Thieves at all. Maybe they allow Skyline in there. If they do allow Skyline in there, I see LA Thieves taking the series. But if it's Hossie again, I mean, Vancouver probably gonna take that again, to be honest. And then last time, Vancouver picked Protocol, which I thought they were going to win, but LA Thieves won that. Actually, no. Actually, I think, yeah, LA Thieves did win that. Vancouver had a chance to win 3-1. So with that gone, Vancouver's probably going to pick Rewind in place of Protocol, and I think they could actually beat LA Thieves at Rewind. And then do they play him? So last time LA Thieves banned Protocol S&D, probably going to honestly ban it again. And Vancouver banned Hacienda, so we're probably going to be seeing another Dealership again. And then LA Thieves probably going to pick Rewind. We're probably going to be seeing like the exact same map set. All comes down to the control. Who has the higher seed going to this? Because that actually matters a lot too. So with Major 4, LA Thieves just edged out Vancouver, dude. They just edged them out. So LA Thieves has the 4th seed. Vancouver has the 5th seed. They're both 3-2, but Vancouver has 2 more game losses. So that's why LA Thieves edged them over. So LA Thieves is 11-6, and Vancouver's 11-8. So just edge them out in game win percentage, and that's why they got the higher seed, which might pay dividends, to be honest. Might pay dividends. So if LA Thieves picks Team A again, then well, actually no, they picked actually I'm pretty sure at this last one I think Vancouver's a higher seed. Actually, wait, I could pull it up right here. Actually, no, LA Thieves was the higher seed in this one too, so they still picked Team A. So they still picked Team A, which means they could ban a control map, which is what LA Thieves is probably going to do again. So if they ban Hacienda Control again, then we're plugging another Revolt Control, which I don't think Vancouver wants to play, but Vancouver got to pick Protocol Control. I mean, I don't think they have a chance on Vault Control unless they watch my YouTube video and they somehow got better at that map. I don't see a world where they beat LA Thieves on Vault Control. They tried it twice. They lost 3-0 twice. So, you know, I would not be doing that again. but they haven't even tried. Have they tried protocol? I haven't seen if they tried protocol control this. Um, let's see if they tried it this qualifier. I think they tried against Rocker. Yeah. They tried against Rocker. Rocker was up 2-0 and they came back. Okay, I remember that. That one just happened. Um, so I mean, against LA Thieves, I mean, they're probably gonna smoke you. And they beat Ultra 3-1 at Protocol Control. Okay, so they have been trying to play it. That's good. That's actually very good. And then they beat Boston 3-1, Hacienda Control. And then they lost to Optic at Protocol Control 3-1. So very inconsistent Protocol Control, but I would take my odds. I would honestly take my odds. And then they lost 3-0 to Atlanta Faze at Hacienda Control. So LAT is probably going to pick Team A just to not play him on Hossie, because even though they did get 3-0'd by Atlanta Faze at the qualifier, they did beat him on land at Hossie Control. So the map set will probably be pretty similar to this one. It'll probably be Hacienda unless LA Thieves switches up and plays Skyline. I mean, I think that one all comes down to like the coaches. Depends what the coaches pick, to be honest. So it'd be Hossie Dealership. I'm assuming that Vancouver's going to pick Protocol and not play Vault again. Please don't play Vault again. So it'll be Hossie Dealership, Protocol, Rewind. That dealership could go either way. Like, Vancouver beat him 6-1 the last time, but then they lost to him in the grand finals. But I think that was just like a momentum and a mental thing. They probably should have won that map. I think Vancouver probably takes that map against LA Thieves like 8 times out of 10. And then the Hossie can go either way. The Hossie and Ruin could go either way, but I think Vancouver takes at least one hard point, so as dealership and hard point. The Protocol, depending on what type of LA Thieves shows up, I mean, that could just be a bloodbath. I have LA Thieves taking the control, so this could be another map 5, honestly. And the map 5 ice on Rewind S&D, I mean, dude. I mean, LA Thieves is really good at Rewind S&D. Who would I play? And did they just lost? And Vancouver just lost Rewind S&D to Rocker 6-0. But it's the qualifier. They may have been trying things, but the thing about Vancouver's Rewind S&D, I mean, hopefully they show different looks at the major, but Abuza plays a deep island on that street, dude. He plays a deep island on that street. And it kind of depends on the other one. So if LA Thieves does their homework and they realize the island he plays on the street, they could isolate everyone else on the team. And the offenses mostly come down to Neptune and like 04. They usually like slow work A. They work through P5L. Sometimes like they rush plant. Sometimes they don't. Comes down to the post plant there. I just think I was going to go with an upset again, dude. I was going to go with another upset. But now after like just weighing through the maps, I just... it just comes out of that control, dude. I just don't know. If they put on Protocol... I mean, Vancouver's had an inconsistent Protocol. They beat teams and they lost to teams. Like, they were down 2-0 to Rocker, which kind of shows, you know, the Protocol is not necessarily there if you're down 2-0 to Rocker at that map. So I'm going to go LA Thieves. I'm not going to go for an upset here. Just weighing out the map set. I mean, it just not looking good. Not looking good at all for them. And then I'm going to put Surge down there for the Falcons. I'm just going to do that one real quick. I mean... no analysis on that one, bro. Let's just get that one out of the way. Yeah, sorry, Falcons. Not wasting time in my YouTube video for you. That's a foregone conclusion. We're going to leave that one. And then I kind of wanted to speed run that one too, but dude, I actually think just matchup wise, I just think LED. Actually, I'll come back to that one. I actually want to go through the map set because this is like a different Miami. And then we're going to go a Faze Cloud9. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, dude, there's a chance for an upset here because this new look Cloud9 does look a lot better. And last time they beat Atlanta Faze in both hard points. But I think we're going to get a different look from Faze, and I think they're going to come out on top. But I would not be surprised if there's an upset here. I mean, Cloud9 has a lot to play for. But I think on the season, that was like Cloud9's first win against Atlanta Faze. So last time it was 250 to 223 on Skyline. I think Atlanta Faze was just trying that out in the map pool. but it was still a close map. And they trolled like multiple P2s and P4s. I kind of sort of half broke it down. Actually, I mean, I broke it down on stream, but then I half broke it down in a video. I mean, that map could have easily went Atlanta Faze's way. And then Atlanta Faze smoked them in the S&D. Red card 6-1. Cloud9 1-3-2. Hacienda control. I don't think that would happen 9 times out of 10. I think that was like 1 in like 9 it would actually happen. And then Cloud9 beat them in the rewind, which was a very good map at a Cloud9, not going to lie. Then it was a dealership last map, which means Faze was probably map pool testing. So if you look at the vetoes for that, Cloud9 banned red card hardpoint, Faze banned vault, which I don't blame them. They're going to have to. So they're probably going to be bullied into playing Skyline again. But I think Atlanta Faze is probably going to show a different look on that. And then for the other hardpoint map, since they don't have protocol, what the heck's the third one? I always forget like the fifth map whenever I see like the vetoes. Hacienda. Ooh. Yeah, we might get these exact same map set actually, because Cloud9, because Atlanta Faze can't play Vault, dude. They're just not good at the map. They're just not good at it. They're a lot better at Skyline. And they don't have protocol anymore. I actually don't know why Atlanta Faze is not good at a map like Skyline. That's just like a straight gunny map. But there are a lot of quick decisions on the map, and if you lose the wrong gunfight or you fucking go the wrong way, you're not reading pressure immediately, like you could get torched on that map pretty easily. And then for S&D, Atlanta Faze banned Hacienda, and Cloud9 obviously banned Protocol. Faze pick red card, and Cloud9 pick a dealership. But I think just with the control and everything, I mean, Atlanta Faze taking this. They're not trolling this. In another world, if it was like an online qualifier, I could say Cloud9 will take it, but I don't think Cloud9 has like the ice on land to like, even though they may upset them on a map or two, I don't think they have the ice to take it the full distance. I feel if it goes the distance, the clutch factor is not going to be there for Cloud9, and I feel they're going to like fumble at that. And then here's the match you guys have been waiting for. Optic against Ultra. They just played yesterday, and Optic 3-0'd Ultra. I mean, we're going to pull up the map set here. We're going to get another rematch of Optic, against Beans against Merc. So the vault was 220 to 216 Optic. The Hacienda was 6-4 Optic. And the Protocol, very impressive win from Optic, was 3-1. So going to the map vetoes, Ultra banned Rewind, Optic banned Skyline, Ultra's best map. So if they play Vault again, I mean, I do have Ultra, honestly. If they play it again, I think Ultra's going to take that. I think that was, like, there's a person who made a very interesting comment. I saw it somewhere on Twitter, on YouTube. It was not on my stuff, but it was just in general. I think it was on, like, the flank comments. It was on the flank comments for, like, their most recent flank. And the guy said, I'm actually going to pull it up because I don't want to do it a disservice, but like I knew what he meant. It sounds like a brain dead take, but I knew what he meant, and I knew where he was going. I know he was going. It's only on my phone. It's only on my phone where it shows. I actually might pull this up on my phone because I think on my phone it actually shows it as like a top comment. I need you guys to see this comment. I really do. Is it right here? Okay, anyways, I can't find it. But he said something along the lines of Optic beats themselves, and if Optic's actually playing at 100%, like they actually would not lose. And I knew what he meant. Like, I think I'm doing his words a disservice there with how he worded it, but I understood what he meant, and I actually, as much hate as I give Optic, dude, I actually agree, dude. Like, if they're actually playing and they're not being stupid, I mean, dude, they should be doing damage, bro. They should be doing damage. But the issue is with Optic, I've been trying, even though I'm not like their coach, but their coaches need to proselytize them to just play the game a different way. You just have to, dude. There's just things that you have to do. There's just habits that they have that they don't want to get rid of and they don't want to change. And that's like the thing that's getting them that's the thing that won't let them get past the hump to actually be a championship team in this game. And I mean, now it's like too late because I don't think they're gonna they're gonna go this whole year not learning from mistakes, seeing how other teams change, and it's not going to help them at all. And they're just being stubborn to how they want to play. I know it's probably not everybody, but certain people have a certain way of playing. Guys probably know who I'm talking about, and they just are not changing. They don't want to change. People want to talk about how much they want to win, but they clearly don't if they're not changing their play style. And I'm not even talking about fully change the play style. There's just like certain things you have to do better and certain things you have to do more of. There needs to be more accountability, needs to be more maturity, more responsibility, more discipline. That's the biggest one. More discipline. Realizing the game that you're playing requires a lot more discipline with how fluky and fast things can happen if you do the wrong thing. Yes, they did 3-0 Ultra, but if you run this exact same map set back, I mean, they probably don't win, to be honest. They probably don't win, to be honest. So they played a Vault Hacienda Protocol, and then it was Red Card Protocol again. So Ultra banned Dealership S&D. I guess would be good not to play him at that map. And then Optic banned Red Card, and then they played Hasi, and they played Protocol S&D. Ultra, are they the higher seed? Because that's actually another thing. That's another thing that's going to that's another thing. Ultra's not the higher seed, so Optic's the higher seed. Ooh, this is interesting. Optic's the higher seed, so they get to pick if they want to be Team A or Team B. You want to know what, though? I think Optic might pick Team A. They might ban Vault. And if they ban Vault, they have to make Ultra pick between Hacienda and Protocol, which Ultra's probably not going to pick Hacienda because I guess they just don't like that map, so they're just going to pick Protocol. And they're just going to get Protocol again. So I think that's Optic's best bet. They shouldn't pick Team B. They shouldn't pick Team B at all because then, I mean, either way, they're probably still going to get Protocol no matter what team they pick. I mean, to be honest. It's just a matter of like what order you want the maps in. So if Optic wants their map pick first, so they picked Red Card against Ultra, which I thought was an interesting pick, and it's a map I wanted to see played, which is why I was hoping they would make it to that map. I wanted to see Ultra against Optic on that map. So we might be seeing that again. I think that's a very smart pick from Optic. I'm not going to lie. I actually really do like that pick. So we got Rewind, Skyline, Vault, Red Card. What the heck's the last map? Hacienda. Hacienda, Hardpoint. I mean, Ultra's not going to pick that. And I don't think Optic's going to pick that. But Optic against Ultra. Ultra's not that good of a Hacienda Hardpoint team. So, I mean, that should be a map that Optic should maybe look at. But I do think Optic, on their best day, should be better than Ultra at Red Card Hardpoint, to be honest. I honestly... Like, if Optic's actually on, dude, like, they are a way better team than Ultra, but Optic's just not on. Like, I would be picking Optic a majority of their series this whole entire year. But seeing how they are and seeing how it's the same things over again and seeing how they're not changing, it's very hard to pick them. Very hard to pick them. And I'm glad they acknowledged that there's a leadership... There's a lack of leadership in the team, and the 3 vets have to do more. I'm glad Hook said that in the interview. I thought that was great. I thought that was fucking tremendous that he said that, which made me think they're watching my video because I literally just said that I had a fucking half an hour conversation about like the listening and how Hook, Shotzi, and Dashi have to do more. And then next day, he literally talks about an interview. Can't be coincidence. But for this match, I mean, if they play this again, that protocol is interesting. I mean, that control is interesting. That could go either way. But Optic with freaking Merc is just way better at protocol now. Way better at protocol. But you know what? I have Ultra in this. I'm not going to lie. Not me being an Optic hater. Not me being an Optic hater at all. Not me being an Optic hater at all. I just got to say that. Not me being an Optic hater. I just feel if you run this back again, like, they're just going to lose again. They're just going to lose. But I have high hopes. And if they win, I'll be very happy. And getting a fucking Faze Optic, like Optic deserves to be in like Optic does deserve to be in the top 3. They really do. But they just cannot. They just can't get that shit together, dude. Can't get that shit together, man. But they really do. They really do deserve. They really do deserve to be in the top 3. Like, that's where Optic should be. They had the personnel for it. Like, just the trio of Hook, Dashi, Shotzi. I know. And that's just, like, what I want to also say. It's more about just skill. This game is more about skill. There's a mental aspect to this game that makes up, like, 50% of the game that a lot of teams don't have. And it's what made FaZe get constant second places for so long. And that's something they had to work on. They have enough skill to beat anybody. Like, on their best day, Atlanta FaZe is like the best team in the world. Like 100 times out of 100. On their best day, everyone playing at their best. Like, their skill ceiling is higher than anybody's. But there's a mental aspect to the game that they didn't have down, which was hindering their performances and the results. And now we kind of see how they've worked on that and how they've been actually able to pick up some wins. Same thing with Optic. Like, the skill's there. Like, the skill's there for them to be a top 2, top 1, top 3 team in the game. But there's the mental aspect to the game, and there's the intangible qualities that you need that Optic is lacking on. I'm glad they're aware of it, but are they going to be able to fix it in a week? I mean, we'll see about that. But I got Ultra. I really do. I'm actually starting to second guess that, honestly. I'm actually thinking Optic now. I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking Optic. Because I don't think Ultra's control, man. Like, Optic's control went from being an auto loss, like a map that they're going to auto lose, to now picking up Merc. Now they're good at every map. Haven't seen them play Vault with him. Actually, I mean, I have, but they shouldn't be playing Vault. They should be playing Husky or Protocol all the time. And with Merc, it does look better, too. I mean, it does look better, and, like, their defenses, dude, they're just slaying them out on the defense, dude. Like, the defenses were not even close, dude. It was, like, abusive, actually. I'm not gonna lie. It was abusive, and Beans was getting cooked. Even Joe was getting cooked. Like, pretty much everyone was getting cooked, but it was pretty close rounds. Ultra threw a lot of defenses they probably shouldn't have. Some they got to clean up on. Ultra's a very good team at, bouncing back and doing their homework. So, I mean, I really do want to see Red Card Hardpoint with both of them. Like, I will be locked into that game so hard. And after this major, since there's going to be like a month before champs, I am going to be like individually going over every series for like the next month on stream. That's probably what I'm going to do, going through every match on LAN, obviously, except for like Boston Breach, Rocker, Falcons, all the teams that are like out. Who really cares about those ones? But this match could go either way. I mean, like that Vault, I have Ultra like 9 times out of 10 on that. And then like the Haas, the Ultra was going to win that last time. But Optic's Haas, the S&D is like hit or miss. It could either be really good or really bad. And then like the Protocol, I just feel like Ultra's better at the hard points in the S&Ds. And there's fucking 4 of those in a series, so taking 3 out of 4 of those, I mean, and like, let me read off Optic's freaking records. Like, you won't even fucking believe me. Overall in the season, hardpoint, they're 28-28 in hardpoint. That's Optic. They're 22-25 at S&D, and they're 18-19 at control. Interesting statistics, right? Like, those are not good numbers for a team of their caliber. Like, those are really bad. And then Ultra are 40-27 at hardpoint, 29-23 at S&D, and 24-18 at control. I have Ultra. Anyways, so we're gonna move Optic down. Gonna move Optic down, so Optic goes down to play Ravens. I actually have Optic taking that, so I'm just gonna move Optic. Not gonna do any analysis on that match. I think Ravens are kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to disrespect the Optic too much, saying, oh, they're gonna lose to Ravens because they're checked. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. But I mean, I think both matches are played on the exact same day. Hold on. That could, that's interesting. Hold on. I'm going to go through that COD League. Wait, so let me see the schedule here. Okay, so the Major Four schedule. So they're doing Thursday and Friday on the exact same day, which is crazy, by the way. But they have an Alpha and Bravo stream. I think they don't want to do Thursday, I guess. 2 games on at the same time, like now we're talking. I don't know about that. So we're gonna have Optic Ultra and Cloud9 Faze on at the same time. I'm obviously gonna watch the Optic game because I think Atlanta Faze should beat Cloud9. And then we're gonna have Elimination round 1 and round 2. Yeah, so we're actually gonna have the Optic match in like the exact same day. So if Optic lose to Ultra, they're gonna play in 3 hours against Ravens, but I don't think that's gonna matter at all. Like I think they're fucking still gonna win anyway. So I'm not even gonna look too deep into that. And then I got Cloud9 against LAG down there. Interesting. I was gonna call an upset there. I'm not gonna lie. But Cloud9 actually got shit to play for, and Cramp and Spart. I'm not going to disrespect my man Spart too much. So, going to get Cloud9 against Optic. And I forgot there's a bracket flip in here, which I'm going to have to take into account. I forgot where that is. I'm going to have to... So they're doing all the winners round 1 and all of elimination round 1. And 1 of elimination round 2 on the exact same day. So that's interesting. So I think they're going to do elimination round 2. So I think they're going to do... I don't even know which one they're going to do. But anyways, they're going to do one of those. So let's see where this bracket flipped again. I need to see where the bracket flipped again. Because I got to go on to... CDL intel for that because I don't even know. I forgot where the bracket flips again. I don't know how. But should I even do this? Nah, there's way too much. I'm gonna just go on to Google, try to find it. Sorry for the dead air, but I have to. Just gonna pull up any fucking major bracket right here. Any major bracket and just fucking see the flip. So the flip's on round 2. So if they... Okay, so like the top just flips to the bottom of like round 3. That's all it is. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty understandable. And then I guess we got one more match for this one. I'm already at 33 minutes. Damn, it's probably gonna go over an hour, not gonna lie. So Rocker against Breach. Very interesting game, hey? Rocker against Breach. Who's going to win? I need to pull up some statistics here. I need to pull up their head-to-head is what I need to do. So Rocker haven't played Boston in a while. They haven't played him since April 6th, which is a month and a half ago. And they beat Boston 3-2. And then before then, they only played him once this whole season? Okay, they played him twice, and they beat him twice, actually. So Rocker's 2-0 against Boston this season, which is a very interesting statistic to take into account. So let's pull up the last time they played, which was Major 3 qualifiers. This was Kenny's MVP series. He had a 1.56 in hardpoint, 1.15 in S&D, and a 0.83 in control. He went 96 and 76 in the series, dropped the 1.26 for the win. Rocker won 6-5 last map dealership. It was a 250 to 151 Skyline hard point. And then Boston won 6-2 Rewind. Boston won 3-1 Hasi. Rocker won 250 to 112 hard point. And then dealership. So let's look at the vetoes for that. So Rocker's going to have the higher seed because they are higher, obviously, because Boston's in losers. So there's no protocol hardpoint anymore, and that's what Boston banned last time. So if that's the case, what would Boston ban this time? I think Boston still thinks they're very good at Skyline, so they're probably going to square up on that map again. And Rocker's going to ban Hossie. I mean, I guess that makes a lot of sense. So we're probably seeing a rewind in this for sure. So we're going to be seeing a rewind and a rewind and a red card. We could be seeing a rewind. No, probably a rewind and a skyline. Um, Actually, but Rocker, no, I think Boston might ban red card this time. They might ban a red card this time because they're not good at that map, and now they don't have to ban protocol anymore. So it's gonna be Skyline Rewind. So Rocker's gonna have to pick Rewind. So we're gonna get a Skyline Rewind. But it all depends on if Rocker picks Team A. They may just pick Team A. If they pick Team A, then a Boston. If they pick Team A, then Boston gets to pick the control, but Rocker gets to ban it. So Rocker will probably ban Vault if they actually should. They should ban Vault. Or maybe they might pick Team B actually. It may pick Team B and maybe get Boston to ban Protocol, and then they got to pick Hossie on them. So that could be a strategy they could implement because Boston doesn't like playing Protocol control. They could easily get him into a Hossie control, but Boston beat him on it last time. So I mean, that could go either way. But as for the S&Ds, Rocker banned Hacienda S&D and Boston banned Protocol. Rocker pick Rewind. They're probably going to pick it again because they're pretty confident at it now. They lost it last time to Boston, but they could do a lot better at it this time because now they got the reps and they look a lot better. And then we might get Rewind and Dealership again. I'm surprised no one picked Red Card. Surprised nobody picked Red Card S&D. Like, no one wants to play that map. Dude, I really want to pick Rocker, dude. But either way, whoever wins this is going to be walking right into Vancouver Surge, and I know it's going to be an auto loss. So, I mean, honestly, both teams aren't going to make it that far, to be honest. Like, these teams are not going to make it that far, like, at all. But this could be another matchup thing because I think Geo just fries against these ARs, dude. I think this is a matchup thing. Rocker's already 2-0 against them. So you know what? I'm gonna go with the matchup cheese here. I'm gonna pick Rocker to beat Boston Breach. And then I might as well just do the next one because I mean, God bless them, dude. God bless them. Like, Rocker's a great team, or not really a great team, but I mean, like, Vancouver's not losing that. Vancouver's not losing that, so I could just throw them ahead there. And then Cloud9 against Optic. I guess I'll do that one next. You know? So let's see the last time that they played. So the last time they played Cloud9 was a while ago. It was the Major 3 qualifiers. So this is like before Merc, and they 3-0'd them, by the way. But this is before both teams had roster changes. And it was a 250 to 148 on the Vault hardpoint. Damn, dude. That's a beating. But now Cloud9 looks a lot better at that map. So we might actually see it like a Vault again. And they played him on Protocol S&D, Optic 163, and then Hofsey was 3-1 Optic. Now this Cloud9 is a lot better. And they're a lot better at Vault hardpoint, which is interesting. And which is very interesting because they're probably going to play that map. And it's probably going to look a lot different. So this last time they played, which is April 5th, and Cloud9 had 2 different guys on the roster. Optic banned Hacienda Hardpoint, which they'll probably do again because I think Cloud9 just has like the identity just to be good at that map, and Optic's just not going to play him, I guess, at that map. And then Cloud9 banned Skyline last time, which is interesting. This version of Cloud9 probably a lot more confident at Skyline. They're probably a lot more confident. They're confident at Skyline and Vault. But they picked Red Card Hardpoint against Optic, but this was like a month ago. This is a long time ago. This version of Cloud9 hasn't played Red Card that often, I don't think. I mean, I'd have to actually go through that real quick. Let me actually see. I mean, I know they didn't play it against LA Thieves because no one's going to play them at that map. Actually, like, did they? Dude, I already, like, blacked out of half of Cloud9's matches, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, yeah, so they played Rewind, they lost it. And then, what maps did they play Miami at? They played Vault and Skyline. So, their Skyline's pretty inconsistent, but they're still confident at it for some reason. So, I mean, and they played Vault and Hossie. They probably could have beat Ultra at that Hossie. So, I mean, they're probably still confident that map, to be honest. And then they didn't get a chance to play the red card against Vegas. So, they haven't even played red card with, like, this new team. Obviously, they've been practicing it, but they haven't played it yet. So maybe this Cloud9 team throws in a curveball and plays Optic at red card, which Optic's a lot more confident at to start throwing it in series now, which I really do like out of Optic because they are like a few tweaks and gameplay stylistic changes away from being a top red card hardpoint team. Like I feel like Optic, if they take my advice on the red card hardpoint, I feel like they could beat LAT on that map. Like, I think they could actually smoke LAT on that map. I know it sounds crazy, but if Optic changed those a couple few things, like I said in the video I made about them on red card hardpoint, if they change those things, dude, they could beat LAT. They could be the team that beats LAT on that map. I could fucking feel it, dude. I could feel it. But will they is the question. Like, they have the personnel for it, but will they? That's interesting. Haven't seen them play the map with Merc yet. They've been trying to play it, but it hasn't even reached the map yet, so they haven't even had a chance to play it. But, so we hope the last time they played Cloud9, obviously, it was 3-0. This map set's going to be looking way different. So this version of Cloud9, I have to pull up Cloud9 again. I just have to. Gotta pull up Cloud9. I need to see like what maps they've been playing recently. Like I'll go with a map against Miami because Miami's a little bit different from like an LAT. Just to get a feel. So like they're not playing Miami at Hossie, I guess, obviously. For S&Ds, they ban Hossie, and then like they pick Vault Control. Okay, so that's against them. Let's see what they did against LAT. So against LAT, Cloud9 ban red card. Yeah, so I guess it all just depends on the team that they play. All depends on the team they play. And then they ban red card S&D. So yeah, their vetoes are very dependent on who they're playing. Which I guess is one way to take it. And then against Faze, they ban red card. And then they ban protocol S&D, not surprised. And they ban protocol control, not even surprised in the slightest. Let's see what they did against like Vegas, because that's like a team that they probably thought, yeah, we'll just take these little guys down. Like they banned Skyline Hardpoint, which is Falcon's best map, and then they banned red card S&D. So I think against an Optic, they would probably ban red card S&D again, dude. They'd probably ban that map. Or the ban dealership, actually. I don't know. I don't know what look they would give Optic. Like, they haven't played Optic in a long time. They haven't played them. And this is a way different team. If I had to pick. So, let me see what maps. So, Cloud9 beat Vegas on dealership. So, like, they tried it out. I need to see the S&Ds. I need to see, like, what they've been playing. So, it's like they played Ultra at Hacienda. Hacienda and Rewind. Okay. We might see a Rewind in this for sure. I feel like Rewind's a map we'll be seeing in this for sure. For sure. Like the Hossie and the red card, I think it's all dependent on who they're facing. They actually might ban Protocol because it is Optic. So I could actually get that one out of the way. They're going to ban Protocol. And what map would Optic ban? They're probably not going to ban Dealership because I don't think they're scared against Cloud9 on that map for S&D. They would probably ban Cloud9's best S&D map, which would probably be Rewind right now. Because it isn't Hossie. It's not red card. And they're going to ban Protocol. So that leaves two maps. It's either Hossie or Rewind. So they'd ban Rewind. So if we ban Rewind and we ban Protocol, that just leaves red card Hossie Dealership. And I feel out of those maps, which of those three maps would not be in out of Rewind Hossie red card or Rewind Hossie Dealership? If I had to pick, Optic might pick Hossie. Optic would pick. Last time they played Cloud9, they actually banned Hossie. Like that was in the Major 3 qualifiers. They actually banned Hossie. last time they played them. So that's interesting. But I think so. What map they play against LA Thieves? So they played Rewind and Dealership against LA Thieves. And LA Thieves pick Rewind, obviously, which means Cloud9 will probably pick Dealership because I think they might be comfortable with that map. And then Optic out of Red Card or Hossy. Which one would they pick from Red Card or Hossy? Probably Hossy, dude. So it might be Dealership. I'm going to have to type this one out too. I actually like typing this out. So we're going to get a Rewind, S&D, and a Hossy S&D. Probably won't be seeing Red Card. As for the hard points, Cloud9 probably ban Red Card. Probably ban Red Card because they haven't even touched the map. Maybe. But I haven't seen anyone ban Red Card against Optic in like ages. Last time they played Optic, they banned Skyline, but maybe they might square up on them on that map. I do know that Vault's going to be played. I just want to know what's going to be banned. What would Optic ban against Cloud9? Probably Hossy. They probably ban Hossy. And then Cloud9's going to ban... What would Cloud9 ban if they had to pick? Would they square up? I mean, Cloud9 beat Optic at Rewind. Or, I mean, like, they beat Atlanta Faze at Rewind. So I think Rewind might be their pick, dude. I think Rewind might be their pick. So I'm going to do Rewind, Hardpoint. And Optic trolled at like to LAG, which might make Cloud9 actually want to pick it even more. So if I'm Cloud9, I would ban Red Card because if you allow Optic to pick that map, they're probably going to beat you at it, even though Optic's very shaky at that map. But, I mean, they haven't played it with this iteration of the roster. Maybe Cloud9's hiding something, but, I mean, if they haven't played it, then that means they haven't been playing it and they don't want to play it. So they're probably not going to pick Red Card. So I'm going to X Red Card out. Rewind's already picked. So that leaves Hossy, which Optic would probably be banned. So it just leaves Skyline and Vault. Which Optic, if they had to pick between Skyline and Vault playing Cloud9, they could pick Skyline, to be honest. But they've been trolling the map, so they'll probably pick Vault, honestly. Might be a Rewind Vault. And then, like, the control. Optic's the higher seed. So Optic's the higher seeds. So what would Cloud9 play? So, like, they beat Cloud9 3-1 at Hossy Control last time they played. And I just think Optic is smart enough to know, just don't play fucking Vault, dude, and you'll probably beat them. Like, just do not play Vault. So, if I'm Optic, I'm picking Team A, and I'm fucking banning Vault. I'm making Cloud9 pick between Protocol and Hossy, and Cloud9 will probably pick Hossy because they don't really play Protocol Control. They don't really play it. So, I'm even going to go through the qualifiers again. Yeah, they played the Vault like twice against Atlanta Faze. They played Hossy. They just don't want to play Protocol. I don't know what it is. The fact that teams like actually suck this bad at Protocol, they don't want to play it is insane. They didn't play it once this whole qualifier. They played Hossy and Vault. They played Hossy twice and played Vault 3 times. So, Protocol Control. So, Optic's probably going to take like the control, so I'll even put Optic there. And then between Vault, okay, I'm actually just gonna like pull this up so you guys can see it. So it's like my notepad right here. I know it's fucking cool, right? So between Vault and Rewind, Optic have to take one of those. But I could see Cloud9 actually taking both of them. Like, it sounds crazy. Like, out of, like, these 4 maps, I can see a world where Cloud9 takes 3 out of 4 of those. You know, I can see it. Like, the Rewind S&D, I could see Cloud9 taking that. Hossy, I mean, that one could go either way, but I could see Optic taking either of those. And then, like, the Rewind and Vault. Like, Optic's very consistent at fucking Vault. They're not, like, that crazy at it. And Cloud9's a lot better at that map now with the personnel that they have. So that's going to be interesting. It just depends what version. But Optic's been smacking Cloud9 all year, but this is like a version that doesn't have Attach, does not have Mac. They got Capsidal, they got Spart, they got different players. So, and this would be a match for like champs too, dude. Like, this is like a champs race. Cloud9 needs this way more than Optic. So these are all things you got to take into account. Like, this would be a big match. This is actually a big match. So in the season standings, so if both of them lose this round, if Cloud9 wins, they go to 135, which means they're on par with Rocker. And they send Optic home, which will put them at a top 8, which doesn't really give them that much yet. Actually, how much points do you get per win? Let me see that. I need to see like the points like per placing. That's what I need to see. I need to see points per placing. Because I know that like first place obviously gets 100. I think second place gets like 75 or some shit, some crazy shit. Okay, so it's the season standings. So second place gets 75. Interesting. Third place gets 60. Okay. Fourth place gets 45. Did Cloud9 even make it that far? Like, where the fuck's Cloud9? I mean, to get top 4, I mean, you could have to get to like here, which is possible. But I mean, if they get Heretics, that's actually very possible for Cloud9. If they get Heretics and they make it through Optic, they get Heretics. Like, you don't want fucking Thieves, dude. If you get Thieves, like, you're out of there. So the bracket would have to go Cloud9's way for like the first time in a long time. And then have to win that. So if they get 45 points, so let's say Cloud9 gets 45 points from where they are right now. 45 points would put them at 170. Ooh. Which means they would be 5 points below Optic. Which means Cloud9 has to make it to Elimination Finals in order to make champs. Elimination Finals. And Optic has to get OFR. And obviously, Optic has to lose to Ultra. If Optic wins, it's over no matter what. Cloud9 would have to win, like, the event. And Optic would have to, like, go there, drop down, and lose there. But Cloud9 would have to actually make it to, like, the grand finals. Which I don't see. If they make it to grand finals, they get 75. That puts them at 200. And Optic's not going to get that. But that's grand finals. So, you know. And top 3 gets you 60. So 60, they put them at 185. But once again, that would require Optic to lose. If Optic gets 1 win, then, I mean, you're just not going to get it. And you have a way worse map loss percent. Actually, no, it's actually pretty close. Like, Optic's won 68, lost 72. Cloud9's lost, or the 156, lost 74. So I guess just based off of that, Optic would edge them if they tied. Ugh. Cloud9 has to, like, actually make a run, dude. And I don't even, like, think that's possible, dude. I think that's possible. Okay, God, we're at freaking 53 already? Damn, you see, I'm just yapping, dude. I'm just fucking yapping, dude. Just yapping. Okay. Cloud9 Optic. Okay, so we gotta pull the notepad back up. So, a vault hardpoint, I would probably do Cloud9. I think Optic's vault hardpoint just like very inconsistent, but they do have the ice. And this one's the one that's interesting for me. This one could go either way. You know, Cloud9's a very good team on that map, even though they just lost it. And Optic got fucking come back on that map. But I mean, well, with Merc, a Dante against fucking Merc would be insane. Actually, I think that'd be great, dude. That's actually a great matchup if it actually does happen. But it's like, I could see like Cloud9 on like the Rewind S&D 2, if it is this map set. So like, I'm basing this off of this map set. And this Hossie S&D could go either way. This could be Optic or Cloud9. I don't even know, you know? So, very interesting stuff here. Who would I choose? Because if Optic wins this, bro, they're probably going to make a run here, dude. You know? If Optic wins this, they're probably going to make a run, dude. They're going to make a run. Wait, what happened last time they played Miami? They lost 3-1. That was like in the major three qualifiers. And then before that, they lost 3-0. Okay. And they lost 3-2. Okay. Damn, they haven't beat Miami once this whole season. Holy shit. Optic hasn't beat them one time. But now they got Merc. And Miami's not that great at control. So that one's interesting as well. Let me see. I don't know why I'm thinking about like the public perception so much. Like if I like make Optic lose, people are just gonna think I'm an Optic hater. But I mean, I'm actually like not, dude. I actually want Optic to do well. I should do want Optic to do well. So Optic's just very hit or miss at the Haas S&D. But I mean, I don't know. I don't trust Capsule that much on land. Like that's the thing. I don't trust Capsule that much. He's a very antsy player, dude. Like I don't trust him that much, and that's like a big factor for me in this whole thing. He could either be really clutch or really not. Just depends what version we're gonna get of him. He's probably gonna be the X factor in this whole entire series, if we're being honest. But I think based off of this, I'm gonna do Cloud9. I'm gonna do Cloud9. You guys are gonna call me crazy. You're gonna call me a hater. Wait, I gotta think about this. Rewind S&D. Okay, like now I gotta pick. So protocol control, Optic's going to win. Like I have whatever the control is, Optic's going to win. The vault, man. The vault is just very hit or miss. This version of Cloud9's a lot fucking better at vault. But if Optic bans vault, so let's say Optic bans vault and they get a Hossie, that could be very interesting. That could be interesting too. Like Optic could fucking win that. So I'm just going off of this map set. If they don't play Vault, I could have Optic. I could easily see Optic winning. But if they play Vault, because I think Optic kind of stubborn and they have no problem playing that map against teams, even though they haven't had a decisive victory on that map outside of scrims and like ages. I'm talking about like a decisive, like smoking a team. Like it's been a long time since they smoked a team on land on that map. It's usually very hit or miss. And then, like, the Rewind S&D, their S&D's not the greatest, but, I mean, I just trust fucking Kyler so much. I have so much faith in Kyler, but then as a whole, I don't even know. This is very interesting. And it's in Dallas, too, so it is a home crowd, you know? It is a home crowd. And Cloud9, like, with Cap Spark, I mean, I just... this is so hard, man. This is always so hard. That's why I love this shit. This is just so hard that I love it. I love this shit. Pause. Optic Cloud9. Okay, I gotta decide now. Have to decide now. It's now or never. Optic or Cloud9 now. I'm gonna go. I want to change the optics. I just feel like Cloud9's gonna crumble, dude. I've seen Cloud9 just crumble all year on land. I actually have. I've fucking seen it with my own eyes. I've seen Cloud9 crumble with my own eyes on land. If you look at all their lands, they got 3-0 by Atlanta Faze. They're out. In the major 2 tourney, like they beat Ultra. They lost to Faze, lost to Thieves. I mean, they've been playing like LAT like the whole time. But they lost to Rocker at the first land. So, I mean, like, there is that. But every other land, they played LAT or, like, Atlanta Faze, which is not really that fair. So I'm going to have Cloud9. I'm just going to go Cloud9. Fuck it. I'm just going to run it. I'm so sorry. Like, I really wanted to pick Optic, too, but it depends on that map set, dude. Like, the second the map set changes, I mean, like, my pick probably changes. So, like, I'm going to be doing predictions, like, before the games, after I fucking actually see the map sets. I will probably have like way different than the bracket, but I'm just going off of this bracket prediction is based off what I think the map set's going to be. Okay, the map set's a very big deal because a lot of teams aren't good at a lot of maps, you know, so it's something I have to take into account every single time. And then that means we got to do the winner side. Ooh, this is where it gets interesting. Because Ultra have been Atlanta Faze's hard counter. The one team where they just like, there's just that itch there that Atlanta Faze cannot scratch. I mean, they just cannot scratch it at all. They just cannot scratch that itch. And when's the last time they played Ultra? They haven't played Ultra in a while. Like, in a while. They haven't played them since the Major 3 qualifiers. And it was the first match. They haven't played them since April 4th. And they lost 3-2. So we're going to pull that one up. It was a 250 to 193 on the vault hard point. A 6-5 S&D win for Atlanta Faze. 3-2 protocol control for Faze, and then they lost Hossie 250 to 206, and they lost protocol 6-3. Atlanta Faze trolled a lot of rounds, but that's the thing about Ultra. Ultra's the best team against Atlanta Faze at making them pay for their mistakes, and they consistently make them pay for their mistakes all the time, and it's just Kleenex, if he's on and he's doing the right flanks, I mean, he just fucks Atlanta Faze up and they can't do anything about it. But Atlanta Faze have really put a lot of emphasis into their S&D and control, and that's like 3 of the 5 game modes. And we're just going to look into the hardpoint vetoes because we have a way different hardpoint map set now, which is going to be very interesting. So I already know, like without even thinking about it, that Ultra's going to ban red cards. So we're gonna actually go through the map set right now. So Ultra's gonna ban red card for sure. So they're gonna ban red card. So they get ban red card. Atlanta Faze would probably have to ban Skyline, that's where it gets very hard for Atlanta Faze, because the fact that you have 2 maps that you're bad at and you have to, and Ultra's good at both of them, you're going to have to play one of them. And it's a matter of if Faze wants to play them on Vault or Skyline. If I'm Atlanta Faze, I'm probably picking Skyline, but the last time they played Ultra at that map, I think they got scarred for life last time they played Ultra on that map. They just got they got beat down. They got beat to death last time they played Ultra that map. So this might be another version of them having to play him on Vault again, which is very tough for Atlanta Faze. Very, very, very tough. Are they the higher seed? That's the question. Let me see. Atlanta Faze is the higher seed, which is great for them because they're going to ban Vault. So they're going to pick Team A. That's like undisputed. They're going to pick Team A, which means they're probably going to get a protocol control, because Ultra don't want to play Hossie. So we're going to get a proto control again. And Ultra's very inconsistent that map, so I'll just put Atlanta Faze for that map. I'm going to come back to that one, but I think Ultra's going to take that, to be honest. And then like the S&Ds. The S&Ds are a lot different. Atlanta Faze have been hard banning Rewind every time, but now they've been putting work into the map and playing it. So I think I think Faze may ban Dealership, but maybe Ultra bans it for. But I mean, against Atlanta Faze, I mean, they might pick red card. I don't know. I think Ultra has no problem scoring up an Atlanta Faze on protocol. You know, like actually now that I think about it, so I think protocol is gonna be map number 2 because Atlanta Faze is gonna pick Team A, and then map number 4 would be Ultra's pick again, which is probably Vault, so I got to put that for map 4, which means Atlanta Faze's pick would be map number 1. And if Ultra's going to ban red card, obviously, Atlanta Faze is going to ban Skyline, so that's 3 of the maps. So between Rewind and Hacienda, I think this where Ultra kind of fucked themselves, because they're just going to play Rewind. So I have Atlanta Faze for that. This S&D could go either way too. I have Ultra for that. And then the map number 5 would be Atlanta Faze's pick. And so Ultra has no problem playing them on protocol, so they're not going to ban it. So Ultra may ban Dealership. And then Atlanta Faze would ban Rewind. Or they could ban Hacienda. I mean, they could ban either or, but I mean, Ultra's probably going to pick fucking protocol. And Atlanta Faze probably knows that Ultra's going to pick protocol too, so they're probably just going to let them pick it. So, which would make Atlanta Faze play red card. But the last time they didn't pick it, though, Atlanta Faze picked Hacienda against Ultra. I think maybe they might think that Ultra is pretty bad at that map, so they actually square up on him on it. And they didn't want to play him on red card because maybe they think Ultra's kind of good at that map. But That's interesting though. Okay, let me see like the last time. I want to see if they played like a red card in here. There has to be like a red card they played. So that was Major 3 qualifiers last time they played it. The last time they played them before then, they haven't played them since the Major 1 tourney where they got 3-0'd. So they only played them twice this whole season, which is interesting. But like now both teams have like grown so much. So last time they banned red card against Atlanta Faze. So is Atlanta Faze going to pick red card or are they going to pick rewind? I mean, I don't think they'd pick rewind, to be honest. Don't think they'd pick rewind. And Ultra would probably ban dealership, I would assume. They'd probably ban dealership. Ultra would probably pick protocol. Atlanta Faze would let them. So if you take dealership, protocol, so it's between Hossie and red card. I think Atlanta Faze will probably pick red card, dude, because Ultra don't really play that map. And that's like 3 maps for fucking Faze already. This one is iffy, but Ultra probably would take it. And this protocol could go either way. This could go Ultra or Atlanta Faze. It could go either way. But, you know, either way, like I think because this one's like the swing one, I think this is the one that really matters. And Ultra don't like playing that map, and Atlanta Faze is pretty good at it if they're not trolling. But who knows? Ultra could beat him at that map. You never know what Faze you're going to get in these hard points. But I got Atlanta Faze taking this. I think Atlanta Faze is going to come over like their boogeyman. I got to like keep that. So I think we're going to get fucking Faze in the winners final. And that would move Ultra down. I was originally going to do Ultra like before I like made this video, but after drawing out the map set, you kind of just like see everything clear, I guess. Ultra versus Surge, the Canadian Classic again, dude. Wow. The Canadian fucking Classic. The Canadian Classic. Heretics against LA Thieves. LA Thieves has beaten and beaten them and beaten them and beaten them. But Miami did sneak a win in the online qualifier, a 3-2 victory. They tried playing them at red card. Miami thought they were actually Himothy on that map, but LAT told them, sit the fuck down. It's actually our map. And then it was a 6-4 Hacienda for Miami, and then the Vault Control. No one's going to beat LAT on that map. I'm sorry. And then it was a 250-137 Hacienda hardpoint win for Miami, so that's a very impressive win. And there was a 6-5 rewind, which LA Thieves could have easily won, to be honest. So if LA Thieves bans Vault, which I would not be surprised, and Miami bans rewind, or maybe they're going to ban red card. I don't know what the fuck they're feeling. But maybe they see that LA Thieves is very vulnerable at rewind right now, and they don't play them on red card, because I think they may have learned their lesson. If they're stubborn and they pick red card again, they're not going to win. So I'm just going to go off the preface that they're smart, because I know Miami's a team that likes to do their homework. They're a team that loves to do homework. And it's a matter of who picks Team A or Team B. So if I'm Miami, I would not pick Vault Control, so I'd just pick Team A to ban it, so I'll just assume. So Miami would probably pick Hossie if LATs has to ban Vault, so we're going to get another Hossie. So Hossie is going to be map number 1. And then map number 2 would be LA Thieves' pick. And if they ban Protocol and Miami bans Red Card, then we're going to get a... So LA Thieves likes picking Rewind, and Miami has no problem playing it. So Rewind S&D. And then Control, if Miami is smart and they don't play Vault Control, but they might just play it again. They might just squirm on, like... They're not good at the other maps. Like, that's the problem. They're not good at the other maps. So I'm curious if they would throw a curveball or not. Because Miami's, like, issue is, like, their control, dude. Like, it's a really bad issue. They're 14-22 at control. They're 9-7 on Vault, which is supposed to be their best map. They're 1-6 on Protocol. They're 4-9 on Hossie. So I think they're just going to be stubborn. And they're going to play Vault Control again. Because, you know, I'm not even going to try to give teams, like, the fucking credit again. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving teams credit again of, like, trying to be smarter. I'm not doing that. Like, sometimes idiots are going to be idiots. They're going to play on Vault Control again. Like, they're going to lose it. So I'm going to put LAT for that. Hard point. This would be LA Thieves' pick. So LA Thieves last time picked red card. So I want to assume, I'm going to try to be a smart person and assume that Miami just needs to accept you're not good at red card against LA Thieves. Like, let that shit go. Play them on rewind. But maybe Miami just doesn't like playing rewind. Let me see if Miami like played rewind this. They had to have played it once, dude. They had to. Or maybe they played against Carolina. No, they played Skyline. This would have been a nice time for Miami to play rewind, bro. They actually needed to practice that map, but they're playing all their fucking bread and butters against every team, dude. I'm like actually seeing it right now. They're playing their bread and butters against everybody. I would not pick red card against LAT. I would ban that map if I'm fucking Miami, dude. You need to learn your lesson. They didn't play rewind once, dude. So I guess they just don't like playing rewind. They might just be idiots and walk into this map set again and just be stubborn. Dude, they're actually going to do it. They didn't play rewind once this whole entire time. And if they haven't played it, then that means they're just not going to play it. So I'm going to assume they're going to be idiots. Okay? Cool. Because idiots are going to be idiots. And then, like, they're going to get the S&D pick. And they played LA Thieves. They picked Hacienda. So if LA Thieves is going to ban Protocol and they're going to ban Red Card, that leaves Hacienda, Rewind, and always forget the last map every time. And Dealership. They could play Dealership, which is an interesting map. They should, actually. But they picked Hacienda last time. And, like, they beat LA Thieves, so they could be stubborn and, like, yeah, we're going to beat them again. But LA Thieves, like, hit or miss on Dealership, though. Maybe they just don't want to play Hydra on that map. I don't know. But they should play Dealership if I want to give them at least one benefit of the doubt. But the Hacienda Hardpoint could go their way. The Dealership could go their way. But, like, you know, it comes down to, like, these three maps. The Hasi, the Rewind, and the Dealership. Like, the Vault is not going to go their way. Like, these are 2 auto wins. Comes down to these maps. LAT just need one of these 3. Are they going to get it? Me personally, I think they are. I think they are. I'm going to have the Thieves. We're going to have a Thieves Faze winners final once again. Beautiful stuff, man. Cinema. Absolute fucking cinema. This is not going to go 2 hours, okay? I'm going to cap this off at an hour and a half. I swear to God. I'm fucking doing it. Actually, wait. Yeah, actually, I shouldn't have sworn anything. I should take that back. I take that back. Heretics, Cloud9, Ultra Surge. I'm not going to go too deep into analysis on this. I'm going to speed this one up a little bit. I mean, I think Vancouver just have Surge's... Vancouver have Ultra's number, and I think it's going to show once again. They're just like a better team than them, honestly. They're just a better team. Even if you look at the map set. So the map set last time, Skyline and Rewind. So Vancouver banned Skyline, which is smart, and then Ultra banned Rewind, auto veto, so they're going to get red card again. Vancouver will probably beat them on the map again. Or they lost it last time, but they'll probably beat them on it, to be honest. And then Hacienda Hardpoint, which most likely probably going to go Vancouver's way again, to be honest. But the thing with Vancouver is they don't rotate on P4 on that map. And maybe on land, they might pay for that. They actually might pay for that. But we shall see. And then against Vancouver, Ultra banned Dealership, which I don't blame them. Vancouver banned Hasi, don't blame them. Rewind and Red Card, interesting. You know, those could go either way. But then, like, the control is interesting. But Ultra lost it last time, but that one could go either or. But I think this is just like another matchup thing. And I think Vancouver's probably going to win. We could actually see an upset here. I'm actually not going to lie. If I'm looking, if they play this map again, I don't see Ultra winning the red card. The Rewind was 6-5. That could easily go like another way. Like the S&D could easily go another way. The protocol control, Ultra's just very iffy on that map. I just think they're just very iffy on that map, so they might lose that. And it'll come down to the Hacienda, and then there's like a red card S&D for map number 5. So it could get interesting. It could get very interesting. It could get very interesting there. Ultra could win that match. I'm not even gonna lie. Ultra could win that in another world. But I mean, there's just a matchup thing. I'm not gonna try to be too smart. I'm not gonna try to be too smart with it. And then we got Heretics against Cloud9. I think Heretics probably just like a way better team, to be honest. I should just like walk them through the top 4, should I? I really should, actually, to be honest. So last time they played Cloud9, they won 3-1, which was very recent. Then before then, they haven't played Cloud9. Dude, they haven't played Cloud9 since Major 1 qualifiers. They played them twice this whole season. They beat a Major 1 qualifiers 3-2. Didn't see them for the whole entire year. Literally didn't play Cloud9 the whole year. The whole year up until this Major 4 qualifier. Played them twice this whole year, which is insane that you could actually do that. Cloud9 won like the vault. Miami won the dealership. Miami won the vault control, and they won the skyline. You know, it was a lot closer of a series than you might think. I mean, like the vault could go another way, but I mean, you know, and then like the dealership could go another way as well. But I think Miami just have fucking S&D ice. And then as for control, I mean, that's Miami's fucking bread and butter, and they're gonna have the ban, so they're just gonna ban protocol because they just don't want to play the map. And then Cloud9 should pick Hossie, but for some reason they pick fucking Vault Control. I don't know why, dude. Like, play Miami on fucking Hacienda, and you probably have a different series, and that could get very interesting. Like, I think there's like a low key matchup thing here. I'm not gonna lie, even though the last time they played, I mean, all of Cloud9 was getting pissed on, but like Dante had 12,000 damage. Like, he had the highest fuck damage in the lobby. So, I mean, it's not like they're getting fried. The only person getting fried was fucking Capsule, but everyone else like had like pretty high damage. And then the Skyline was a 250 to 204 to Miami. So that's an interesting one. I kind of want to call an upset here, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I know it sounds crazy. Because Heretics honestly is a better team. But you know, they did go 5-0. They beat LATs, but every other match they played Vegas, they played LAG. You know? They're playing some fucking burger teams, bro. And they played Carolina. And then they played obviously Cloud9 as well. But this is a pretty close 3-1. All depends if Cloud9 wants to be stubborn and they don't pick Hossie and they play Vault. If they play Vault against Miami, you're trolling. You got to pick Hossie. You have to pick Hossie. Because Miami's going to ban Protocol. So they're going to pick Team A for sure. So you're probably going to get the exact same map set, except, I mean, if I'm Cloud9, Cloud9's not going to throw fucking the red card hardpoint in there. So it's probably going to be the exact same. Yeah, if I'm Cloud9, actually, I may like switch it up and throw Hacienda S&D in there and ban dealership. If I'm them, if they switch up 2 maps, they could actually win this. But it's an interesting thing on if they switch up those 2 maps. So like, I'm just gonna like show you guys this. You guys like actually know what I'm talking about because I'm looking at it off screen. So if Cloud9 switch this out for dealership and ban fuck dealership, and they play Hossie, could be interesting. And then if they switch out the control for Hossie, because Miami's gonna ban protocol, they're ass at the map on control. So don't play him on Vault. It's the only map they can play for control. Play him on Hossie. You just beat Atlanta Faze in the qualifier. Granted, you could call that a fluke, but you did get a win against them. So you know you're not that bad at the map. So if I'm Cloud9, I'm playing that. Don't play Vault. If they play Vault, they're gonna lose. So my prediction may be wrong if Cloud9's fucking dumb. You know, I'm trying to give teams the benefit of the doubt here. But, you know, could give them the benefit of the doubt. So I'm just going to go Cloud9. If they change those 2 maps, I'm calling an upset here. And then, I mean, I'm going to, actually just fast forward this. Because I don't think Cloud9's going to make it any further than that. I think Vancouver's just way better than them. So it ends there. You know, it ends there. Actually, let me just real quick do my due diligence on, their, map record against, them throughout the season here. So they didn't play Major 4 qualifiers. Obviously, they didn't play Major 3. They played them in Major 3 qualifiers. They won 3-2. So the last time they played, so I was with Neptune. Neptune didn't have the best series. Fuck, Dante had a 1.31 against them. Okay, so this is the last time that they played. Last time they played against Vancouver, April 19th. So exactly a month ago was the last time they played. Cloud9 won 250 to 231. Vancouver won 6-5. A 3-1 Hossie win. Very impressive. But ever since then, I think Vancouver's got a lot better at that. And Vancouver's the higher seed as well. I'm pretty sure. Am I faded? Pretty sure they're the higher seed. Yeah, Vancouver's higher seed. So if they're the higher seed, I mean, I don't know why they banned Vault. That's kind of weird. Because Vancouver's not that good at that map. If I'm Vancouver, I'm banning that for sure. So it might get Hossie anyway. And then the Skyline, which is a different version. This is a different fucking team, by the way. This is a different team. And then like the Protocol. So the S&D maps, the Hacienda ban, the dealership ban. I don't blame him for banning that. Like the Protocol pick, interesting because you're walking right into Vancouver's trap. And then like the 6-5, that could go either way. I mean, it could honestly go either way. Comes down to the hard points. To be honest. I mean, Hacienda Skyline, like, it's not bad. And they're not going to ban this map this time, so they're going to play Vault. They're going to play Vault this time. And they're going to ban Red Card. I don't think they want to play Vancouver at that map. So they might ban Red Card. Or they actually might ban Hossie. I don't know. But, like, they scored up on them last time. They beat them. And they're probably going to take that into account. So between Red Card, Vault, Skyline, Rewind, they could ban Rewind. If I'm Cloud9, you could ban Rewind. Either way, you're going to play them on, like, a red card. Like, I don't know why Vancouver banned Red Card, but, I mean, they have gotten a lot better at it, so they might actually let it through. So just based off the hard points in the S&Ds, I mean, I could have fucking Vancouver. Yeah, Vancouver should take this, dude. I really want to call an upset. I really want to call a Cloud9 fucking 11 finals, fucking knocking Optic. Like, dude, that's just such a story, man. That's such a story. But you want to know what, though? That would be 65, and they're not going to make it past fuck top 3, by the way. So if Cloud9 gets 65 points, actually, for third place, they get to 190, which puts them ahead of Optic. Optic need a win the round 1 to basically secure champ, so they have to put everything into the ultra match, so it doesn't matter what Cloud9 does. I'm pretty sure they have enough confidence to know Cloud9's probably not going to win the major, obviously. Like, they're not going to win at all. So that's interesting. It's an interesting map set. I mean, they haven't played each other in a while, but I mean, it was a pretty close game, and that was with like Attach and Mac, like both having stinkers, So I think the matchup thing, I think Cloud9, it feels like Cloud9 matches up pretty well against this team, like just player for player. Like I actually kind of feel it. I'm not gonna lie. They played again before that, so that was like the Cloud9, and then they only played them. Okay, so they beat him 3-2 twice. Oh, and that was with Hixie too. I think this one's with Hixie. Oh no, actually they had Neptune for this one. But and they both went map number 5, like both times. Fucking Protocol again, dude. And the Hossie, they keep beating him on Hossie. Like, this is interesting. This could be some matchup cheese. Dude, you know what? I'm fucking doing it. I'm doing it. I'm changing. Cloud9 LM finals. Who would have? I already know I'm wrong too. By the way, I already know they're probably gonna go. Dude, it's so funny. I'm doing this. It makes sense with the map set, and then I'm gonna watch on Friday, and I'm gonna see a completely different map set, and I'm gonna be like, oh well, and then they're gonna get 3-0'd, and then they're gone. Like that's what I'm gonna see, and they're just gonna be gone. They're just gonna be fucking gone. Like, But I have a feeling with Spart. Spart loves playing in the losers, dude. Those S&Ds, like, it could get grindy. Over there, dude. I'm telling you, bro. Like, that might be a matchup thing, dude. Like, Vancouver won both times 3-2, but they were close. And that was with a lesser Cloud9 team. Now they got an upgraded Cloud9 team. So that's actually interesting. It looks like they actually match up like very well. And then I'm going to make this one short and sweet. Not going to do too much analysis into this one, but I am going to just do my due diligence and pull it up. I feel like LA Thieves have a matchup issue against Atlanta Faze. No matter how bad Atlanta Faze is against... No matter how bad Atlanta Faze is at hardpoint, for some reason against LAT, like they just look way... It's like they just try a lot more. You know? They just turn up. But, yeah, so last thing they played was a 3-0 Atlanta Faze. It was a 3-1 on the protocol. The protocol may be a bit closer. Maybe it could go another way. But LA Thieves had the higher seed. But either way, Atlanta Faze is not going to play fucking Vault anyway. So that doesn't even matter. They're not going to play it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what seed they're not playing it. Actually, who does have the higher seed? Atlanta Faze have a higher seed. My bad. Okay, Atlanta Faze have a higher seed. So Atlanta Faze banned Skyline. LA Thieves banned Hacienda, which is interesting. And they actually allowed red card in this series, but they just didn't make it to it, which is very interesting. If I'm Atlanta Faze must have some confidence against LAT on that map. Like, I know, so they played him twice on it, like the major one. The first time they got beat so bad, it was like not even competitive. And then the second time, I feel like the second time rolled around and they learned from their mistakes and the game was way closer, but then they still ended up losing. But they learned, and you could see it was way closer, and they had opportunities to win, but then they actually still lost. So they actually allowed it in this series. They just didn't get to the map 4. So Atlanta Faze pick Rewind. They might be confident to just fucking play fucking Rewind again, honestly. They're probably going to play Rewind again against them. And LA Thieves have been a little bit shaky at that map. I don't know why. If I'm LAT, I'll pick fucking Vault, dude. Pick Vault. But they probably going to pick Red Card again, to be honest. So Atlanta Faze pick Rewind, so we might get the exact same hardpoint map set of Rewind Red Card. I guess I'll show you guys, so I'm not like just reading it off screen. It's because most of the time when I move the screen, it like I've still picked the Paint 3D, but I guess it's not doing it now. And then LAT is gonna ban Protocol. They just auto ban that S&D map. I don't think they played it at all like this year. Actually, I think they played it like once or twice, but they just don't play that map. And then Atlanta Faze ban Hossie. I don't blame them. And then LAT's actually pick fucking Dealership, and Atlanta Faze beat them, which is interesting. I think LAT's probably going to pick Rewind this time, but maybe they saw that Atlanta Faze actually has like gone way better at the map, and they're just going to, they threw like a Dealership in there, but then they ended up still losing the map anyway, which is hilarious. And then that leaves like the red card in because they have to auto ban Protocol. So Atlanta Faze gets to play red card. And then like the control, Atlanta Faze has a higher seed, so LAT's have to pick between Proto and Hossie, but the Proto could go either way. Like, Atlanta Faze could lose that map to LA Thieves, like, pretty easily. Like, pretty easily they could lose that map. Like, it's not even, like, you know, they could easily lose the map. So that could go back and forth. But I do think there's a matchup thing here, and I think I have Atlanta Faze going to the Grand Finals. And for them to make it to the Grand Finals not being that great at hardpoint is... says something about them, but also says something about everyone else in the league. I'm not going to lie. And then Thieves, I mean, I'm not even going to, like, do any analysis on this. That one's just going to be, like, they're just going to get, like, a warm-up. We're just going to get a warm-up going back. So now if we extend this to, like, a best of 7, should be a best of 9, but it's a best of 7 for some reason. So if we extend this, we're going to add 2 more maps. So if Atlanta Faze is in the winners, then they get to pick both controls. So we get a Protocol and a Hossie. So it adds a Hossie to this. So it adds a Hossie to this. And it adds an S&D. So the last time, what was the S&D left out? So they picked a Dealership red card. And what was the last map? Rewind. Okay. So it's probably going to be a Dealership red card Rewind for the S&Ds, and then we're going to get Protocol. I should just draw it out here. Draw it out here in order here. I'll draw out the whole best of 7. So if Atlanta Faze has they're just gonna play them the same maps, dude. Like they're just not gonna learn. Like these teams don't even give a fuck. So Atlanta Faze is gonna pick Rewind. If I'm LAT, maybe throw Vault in there. It depends how like the red card goes. If it goes to map number 4 and Atlanta Faze, like let's say, beats them on the map, then LAT could throw a curveball and throw Vault in there. I think, dude, LAT should be playing Faze at Vault. Faze is not good at that map, and they like 30-point clubbed them like at the beginning of the season when they played on that map. I don't know where like the fall off LATs have had on that map where they just don't play it anymore, but I thought they were like undisputed the best Vault hardpoint team at that map, and they just stopped playing it out of nowhere. I have no idea what happened with that. That's like very weird to me. Like the S&Ds may be a little bit different because they may pick a different S&D, but because LA Thieves could pick the Rewind, like they might pick Rewind. So let's just say like Rewind. Let's just say like they pick it. I'll just switch it up from Dealership, but we're gonna get fucking Dealership in there, and then I don't even think LAT gets to pick a control. I don't think they get to pick a control. I forgot how it goes in the grand finals. Let me see. I gotta pull up the one. I forgot like who gets like the map set pick. So when they played Vancouver, so Vancouver picks map number 4 and map number 2, and that's it. Wait, they pick number. Oh, so they still pick 2, 3, 4. Interesting. Okay, so they still pick fucking 2, 3, 4. And then like the 5, 6, 7 are just like 5, 6, 7 are just like the leftover maps. Okay, so I guess they actually still do get their picks, which is interesting. Yeah, that's gotta change. That's gotta change. So if Atlanta Faze ban, you're gonna have to play protocol again anyway. And then the hard point would be LA Thieves' pick, which is gonna be probably another red card. They're pretty confident that map. Or they may throw like a Vault in there. So I'll just put like a Vault or like something. Like I'll just fucking throw that. And then the last map would be Atlanta Faze's pick. And the last time they played, they picked red cards. So we might just get red card again. Because this is the bad thing about LATs having like the ban. But Atlanta Faze just has a wide S&D map pool now. They've been like working all their fucking bad S&D maps. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. It's the leftover control, so it's a Hasi control. Hacienda control. It's the one that didn't get banned, and then it's the leftover one. So if they pick Rewind, we're gonna get a Dealership map 7. Could we imagine that, dude? A Dealership map 7 would go so hard, even though it's such a terrible map. But just from a viewer perspective, it would be nice. It'd be nice. So there is a world where LAT could actually fucking take this, but I think like the matchup is literally so strong. Like in a world, if Atlanta Faze beats them on this map in the winners final, LAT could work on it, and they could easily get fucked better at it, and they could beat them on that map. That could go either way. This could go either way. Like LATs could easily fucking take this as well. I mean, they didn't play it last time, but maybe they played like this time and they beat them. So let's say they play that. This one could go either way. Like LAT is actually very good at this map. They could beat them on that too. They could beat them on this map too. Like Atlanta Faze probably take the red card, maybe take like the control. But like LAT realistically could win like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these maps. Like they should. But there's a matchup thing, and the matchup thing is strong. And like that control could go either way. So that's where it gets interesting. But overall, I do have Atlanta Faze. If they do play LAT in the grand final, I have Atlanta Faze fucking winning. I don't know why I didn't pick LAT to win like the last thing. I guess I just fucking called like some cheese on it. I was thinking, upset, but yeah, like they let me down on that one. Not gonna lie, they let me down on that one. Vancouver let me down on that one, not gonna lie. But LAT, no. Honestly, with the map set I did, this map set, wait, I already like deleted it? I guess I already deleted it. What the fuck? Wow, it's quick. This map set could go either way, dude. But it comes down to like those like controls. It really does. And like the rewind could go either way. The red card, if they play it like 3 times, could go like a different way. Um, if LAT, I'm gonna say this right now. If the grand finals comes and LA Thieves throws in vault over red card, I mean, if they still beat them on the red card anyway, like it really doesn't matter. LA Thieves just needs to beat Faze on their map pick, which is gonna be rewind, because they're probably not gonna play. I mean, they should play vault. They should play vault, but they are so good at fucking red card. They're probably gonna keep playing red card. But they should play vault just because of how bad Atlanta Faze is on that map. But maybe in scrims, fucking LAT is just digressed so much at that map that they just don't want to play it anymore. But the last time they fucking beat Faze of that map, it was like a 50-point club. Granted, it was like at the beginning of the season, but they still did do it. But it depends on the map vetoes. When the map vetoes come around, my picks will probably change. But this is my troll major 4 bracket. So that will be 3 majors for Atlanta Faze. Am I going to be right? Am I going to be wrong? Probably going to be wrong on the first day. Like, this Cloud9 run is actually a joke. I'm not going to lie. They're probably going to lose to Optic. Probably going to lose to Optic. Heretics probably going to go to Surge. And then Surge probably going to go to Thieves. And then Thieves going to beat them. This is probably going to be the same grand final, though. Not going to lie. But how we get there is probably going to be way different. But yeah, that is my major 4 bracket. Join the Discord above. You could even see it right there. The Burrito Bowl Discord. We're going to be running S&D Hardpoint Money 8s on May 30th for free. It's a free sign up. We're giving away free money. So sign up for that. We're just growing the community. Join the Burrito Takeover for extra content. Lots of extra content this week. You're not going to want to miss. A lot of great content you're not going to want to miss. Stay tuned. Major 4 on the way. I'm debating if I'll stream it or not. I mean, it starts pretty early on Friday. Actually, what day is it? What time? What time does it start? That depends, because I do have work, So it starts at 10:38. Dude, it starts at 9:30 Pacific. That is fucking insane. I'm going to ask if I can take Friday off. I'm actually going to ask if I take Friday off. I'm going to see. I'm going to see if I take Friday off. But we'll see. If I could take Friday off, that'd be clutch. But it starts at 9:30 a.m. Like, how the fuck am I gonna watch that? That is like prime fucking work hours. But yeah. With that being said, stay tuned for all the content this week. This has been Burrito. Bada boom, bada bye. We'll see you next time.